We're going to have an invocation by Honorable J. Ina.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to gather here today to take Lord, we ask that you touch our minds and hearts with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Lord, we ask that you let us do things decently, Lord, and we may agree. Lord, we ask that when we walk out of here, we give everybody safe traveling grace and mercy. And Lord, we ask a special prayer for our council chairwoman, for Ms. Gwen. We hope better. We ask all these blessings in your darling son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
The Pledge of Allegiance by Reverend Matthews.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Lisa, roll call.
Yes, ma'am. Reverend Matthews,
Present.
Mr. Ina,
Here.
Mr. Olander,
Present.
Mr. Hill,
Present.
Mr. Rolfe, Mr. Hebert,
Present.
Mr. Davis,
Present.
Mr. Duhorn,
Present.
Mr. Adams,
Present.
Dr. Rink,
Present.
and Mrs. Hidalgo. She's absent. You have 10 to 1. You have a quorum. Thank you.
All right, reading of the minutes of the previous meeting from the second regular meeting, October 22nd, 2025.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Adams to
Second.
approve, second by Mr. Rolfe. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. If no one has an objection, we'll move 14A, the resolution of respect, since it's already been a long meeting, so they don't have to sit through more, for Miss Clara Johnson up. Anybody have any objections? Okay.
You need a motion to that effect?
I do
or-
need a motion
I'll-
for
I'll
just
so
for the, okay. I have a motion to adopt, correct?
Adopt, yes.
Okay. I have a motion by by Reverend Matthews to adopt 14A, the resolution of respect in memory of Miss Clara Johnson. It'll be seconded by the council. Any discussion?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Madam Clerk for taking care of this. And I want to say to the family of Miss Clara Johnson, her son, one of her sons is here, and his lovely wife, as well as other members of the community, that she held very dear to her heart. Ms. Johnson was a pillar in the St. Mary Parish, particularly west end of St. Mary Parish communities. My memories of her go back to when I first started having children, and my children attended her daycare center. I think I may have even had two siblings younger than me that attended her daycare center. She had the kind of heart that was a mother figure to the entire community. Her doors to her home were always open. Both she and her husband made significant impacts in their public service to St. Mary Parish. I can particularly remember and have very fond memories of my work with Ms. Clara Johnson as one of the first commissioners on the Recreation District number 5 Board of Commissioners that was formed back in, I think, maybe 2001 or 2, when the original vision was laid out by Mr. Joe Davis, former parish council member for the District 1 community, to erect a civic center in one of the poorest communities in St. Mary Parish, the Four Corners Sorrel area, over in District 1. And I can remember getting a visit from Mr. Joe Davis when he came to ask me if I would be interested in serving on that commission to lead the development of that project. And I asked, one of the first questions I asked him was, who else is serving? And he said, well, I just left Miss Clara Johnson's house, so she's agreed to serve. And he said 3 other names, one of which I was familiar with at the time, and the other person I didn't really know very well. But when he said Miss Clara Johnson's name, I quickly said, sure, I'll serve. because I knew the spirit that she embodied and what she would bring to the table in terms of representing the best interests of the citizens in District 1, at that time Rec District 5, which of course is situated within the boundary lines of St. Mary Parish District 1. But through that process, I got to know Ms. Johnson a lot more intimately. I got to know her spirit a lot better than I thought I did. And the lady who I thought was just a quiet lady who, you know, was always smiling and loved to take care of children and loved her community, I found out that she had some fire, and that she was a person that was resolute and firm in her convictions. And through that process of developing and erecting the West St. Mary Civic Center in what we now know as Recreation District Number 5, there was a lot of contention that we had to live through in that process. And Ms. Johnson was, again, resolute. She was firm. And when she spoke and she meant something, that was it. She stood on what she believed in. And I saw her passion and her compassion for her community through the work that we did together, serving on that recreation district and building the beautiful facility that we now have. And she served for quite a few years before she stepped away, even into the operation of that facility. And I just, there are very few people in our community that can resound the kind of tenacity and the kind of courage for public service that she did, particularly at the age she was at when she came aboard. That was not something she had to do. She was already enjoying her elder years. She was already retired. She didn't have to take on that mantle and that charge to help us build that facility. But she said, it's something that I want to do because I believe my community deserves this. And that's what she did. And so I just developed such a greater level of respect and adoration for her, having worked so closely with her through that process. And she was more than supportive of what we now are so proud to have in the Four Corners Sorrel community. So I just have to say to you, Mr. Stanley, and to your entire family, to your wife, to your other siblings and your entire family, what a blessing it was to be connected to her through this public service commitment. And I know that she's sadly missed by your entire family, but she was a treasure to St. Mary Parish as well. So I wanted you to know that. So I'm going to read this resolution into the record. It's a resolution of respect that reads, whereas the Lord Almighty in his infinite mercy and goodness has seen fit to remove from our midst former Vice Chair of Recreation District Number 5 Board of Commissioners, Mrs. Clara Johnson, and whereas she owned and operated a daycare center for well over 2 decades, caring for countless children in the West End of St. Mary Parish, and whereas she was one of the original commissioners of Recreation District Number 5 and was instrumental in the vision and construction of the West St. Mary Civic Center that we now know as the Joseph M. Tooney Davis West St. Mary Civic Center in the Four Corners Sorrel area. And whereas she was as beautiful on the outside as well as on the inside, and will be remembered as a treasured parent, grandparent, and great-grandparent. And whereas she will be deeply missed by her loving family, and her memories will be cherished forever. And whereas the members of the St. Mary Parish Council wish to acknowledge publicly our sorrow and sympathy to the family of Miss Clara Johnson, and hopes that the family and community will find comfort in the thought that your grief and sorrow are shared by your friends in this chamber. Now therefore be it resolved by the St. Mary Parish Council through the unanimous adoption of this resolution that we solemnly deliberate with sincere condolences sympathy, and understanding during this time of grief. Adopted and approved by the St. Mary Parish Council in regular session convened on this, the 12th day of November, in the year of our Lord 2025, approved by our council chair, Honorable Dr. Christy Rink, and attested to by Ms. Lisa Morgan, clerk of the parish council.
Anybody else have any other comments? A roll call?
Thank you so much. This is on item 14A. Reverend Matthews.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ina.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Olander.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rolfe. Mr. Hebert.
Ma'am.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Duhorn.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Adams.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Rink.
Ma'am.
And Mrs. Hidalgo, she's absent. We have 10 yeas and 1 absent, and the resolution carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to call the family up for a quick photo,
Yes,
if we
sir.
could. If y'all don't mind, if y'all would come forward.
Or Alex Arda to appear before the council to give an update on the Plantation Inn Hotel. When you come up to the podium, please identify yourself. A reminder that there's 5 minutes.
Speak into
Oh,
the
pick up the
microphone.
mic, Mr. Alex, I'm sorry. State your name for the record.
Alex, Arda, Yannick. I'm not going to go any of the nonsense that happened. I wasn't here. I'm just going to promise it what I promised, try to finish what I promised as we requested by June. And one word, he's fired. That's why he's doing it. And you guys check the record. That's all I'm going to say. And I came yesterday, cleaned up a little bit. Tomorrow we're cutting the grass. If I don't do it by summertime, I'll sign the deed to you guys.
Can you speak a little louder, please?
Of course. I said, I'm gonna go with the plan that we did it on September, as I promised it. I will finish it by June, summertime. And if I don't finish it, I'll sign the deed to you guys as a gift. And I promise you.
So you're thank you, Madam Chair. So you're asking us to give you until the summer of 2026
Correct.
to finish the project?
We discussed this.
And if not, he'll
remember?
sign it over to us as a deed.
Do you have a set of construction plans
Yes,
to
we do.
accompany that schedule?
Yes, I talked through the Cardinal company that does supplies. They're sending me 2 electricians and 1 plumber. I didn't need any electric work, but homeless, they cut a lot of electric. Now I gotta redo it again. So, yes, I have planned it. I have meeting tomorrow also to get going. Today we did a little bit of cleaning myself and some other gentleman that was helping me. I promise you I'll finish it. I'm not gonna go further.
If I may, I wanted to let y'all know, I got a call from Mr. Chris Grow, which is his attorney,
Correct.
letting me know that to please pass on that y'all were in the process of an insurance claim, and it was currently pending.
Yes.
So he wanted me to let y'all know that.
if you guys worried about that insurance that he kind of came up and I did a fake this, fake that, all I said is 750,000 we spent so far. Insurance that we claimed has nothing to do with that 750,000 at the time that we spent our money. And the claim that he came up with nonsense is March 2025 and July 2025 claim that we made. They didn't even reject it, or they haven't even. So in other words, like the lawyer called you, he's going to be coming in the board. How come someone lies and tells that fraud and this and that? I'm too old for that, and I have too much to lose to play that kind of games. That's all.
Questions for Mr. Alex?
No, I just will reiterate that we're gonna hold your feet to the fire that by the summer of 26 that it's completed. Because like I said, this has been dragging on a long time. It's plenty long enough, but I hope you can finish it by the summer of 26, because if not, we'll have to take other measures to move on.
I respect that, and then I will show you. If I wasn't going to finish it, why do I start to begin with? Second of all, you have to understand I'm fighting with the Mother Nature, plus bad neighborhood, very bad. Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. Question, comment. The last time we met here, planning and zoning had went and did an inspection on a place.
I talked to
and-
gentleman, correct.
And she almost fell through the second floor. My question is how are you gonna secure this place from anyone not getting hurt on the property?
I am talking to sheriff department tomorrow. One of their, I don't know who's going to be, but we're hiring to have some security there, especially nighttime and a couple of hours in the morning.
So you're not looking to put up any type of fencing?
Posts are there, the other side of the hotel, which is the shopping center. They're having the same problems. Any of you welcome to see our property so far, what we did, what is going on, and what they did.
My concern is someone getting hurt. Also, at the last meeting, the other gentleman that was here with you said that the wall that was facing the street was fixing to fall.
All right?
So
I'm glad.
that's another concern, that them bricks will fall on that street or fall on the car that's passing.
I will
So
co-
that's another concern.
Okay, if I may. I have the insurance company forensic report, engineering report. There is nothing wrong on the structures. I'd be glad to get it. It's in my car. I apologize. I
But
didn't
as long
get
as
it.
you get it to planning and zoning, because that's the lady that's gonna be in charge of everything.
I talked
That's
to
the one
her
that's gonna
about-
shut you down or let you go forward.
Okay, I will. I will glad to give it a copy right now after I can talk to her or whatever. So there's nothing to worry about structurally. It's in writing. It's signed by 3 engineers. So I'll finish it. That's all I'll get. I'm sure you guys are gonna inspect it anyway.
Chair, I have one thing. Probably more for Matt. Is there a way we can still move forward with the condemnation and rescind it if he has actually done anything? Any substantial improvements? Instead of waiting until June?
I'm okay with that. What are you gonna do for the site as far as your city council?
I've just been waiting for this meeting to
Okay.
see what the decision was, the feel of this group, to see what, y'all think
Turn the mic.
should be
Come a
done.
little closer to the mic, Ms. Mann.
Sorry about that. Just wondering, really, what y'all wanted to do moving forward. It's been kind of back and forth with these last couple of meetings, so,
Stated my intention, I'd like to move forward with a condemnation like we had previously.
Okay, I have a question. Is there even power on at the facility?
Remember, I mentioned a lot of others, even before they got the
But how are you gonna do any construction work with no power?
You would have to get a renovation permit.
Alex, how long have you owned this property?
Have they ever had power on at the facility? No, I didn't ask that. I asked, have you ever had power turned on? She's saying no. She's in charge of it.
When did you have power? Of last year? Okay, you had a permit for electricity?
That temporary power?
Irregardless, you need a permit to get power turned on.
Correct.
No, they
We do
don't.
not.
Temporarily, you have to have a permit. Any power turned on, you have to go through her, so that's why. No, sir, I asked if there was ever power turned on, and you said yes. And she said no, and she would know because she's in charge of the department. So there's never been power turned on in a year and a half. What did they do when they done the work there? How were they doing the work? Okay?
You can't do that.
Okay.
Anybody else have any other questions?
What do we need to do to move forward? Condemnation?
Condemnation letter would have to be sent to Mr. Yannick and his partner. There's two owners, so they both have to receive.
Please.
That is-
Yes.
Sure.
Please state your name when you get up to the microphone.
My name is Joseph Bodei, Joseph. Last name is B like boy, O Oscar, another O Oscar, D David, A Apple, I India, E Edward. The fact of the matter is this, that when I came in the very first time that the property was condemned, I told them that we're going to fix the place. But unfortunately, as Alex said, and I was touring the property over 3-4 hours today, a lot of homeless people, they crashed into the property, they broke something, they did a lot of things that was not, it was unexpected. So as he promised, you know, I have done this in California many times, and it's not something that's new for me. I can sign. I'm certified accountant. I finished law school in California, and also I'm real estate broker. So at the end, I know what's happening. But definitely, as early as tomorrow morning, Alex is going to get permit for electricity. But if the electricity is on because they cut all the wires, you know, my knowledge is only in accounting and law, but I know nothing at all about construction. But I'm worried that if they turn on the electricity after he gets the permit, and then all the wires they were cut, it may cause some problems, or maybe a spark or something that would, they may start a fire or something. As I said, I repeat again, I know nothing about, when I know something, I talk about it. So I know nothing about construction. He's the one who's taking care of it. But at the end of the day, when you have mentioned about getting the permit, I can definitely, I'm here to promise, first in the morning, he's going to go and pull a permit for electricity. But again, we have to find out before they turn it on. We have to be careful that nothing would happen or it's not going to cause a major problem. Finally, what I had in mind is this. I would tell you no matter what, and then if you give us some time, not up to June, at least a couple of months, we make sure to come back again together with Alex. We give you all the success and also the contracts. The contract for wiring, the contract for construction, for the roof, everything. And then we will have certified contractors or the architect. They just mentioned there that how long it would take, and we make sure definitely it would finish, because when Alex was here on June, they told him we give you up to June. They are not going to condemn you, but we're going to give you time up to June to finish this. So again, on the point of perjury, I tell everybody that, as I said, not to repetitious, first in the morning, he's going to pull the permit for the electricity, and then whatever time you give us, you can discuss it. If you want, it's 2 months, it's too long, tell us how long you give us. During that time, I make sure that definitely I come personally myself, and usually he's always here. I make sure that I have letters from the contractors, roofers, and everybody else. Not only they mention exactly what they're going to do, it's going to be contractor and architects. And definitely they're going to pull a permit when we hire them. They definitely would pull a permit from the city, and then they would start the job. So finally, during the time, the short period, not up to June, that you give us, again, I make sure that we're going to bring you those letters from the contractors and the architect, and also show you that the permit was put by them. And then I have them to certify that this is what they're going to do and when it's going to finish. So definitely, if you have to pay overtime to them or extra charge, we do it definitely to finish it before June. I rest my case. If you have any questions, ask me, I answer you.
Yep. I am a general contractor, so I'm very familiar with the process.
Perfect.
You don't have to worry about the electricity, because what you would be getting is a temporary power pole. It's not turning on the main power at the facility, because it's probably not prepared for that, right? Because all the wires were cut and what have you. I don't know, I hadn't been in there. But you'd be putting a temporary power up, and whoever puts that up, you'd get the temporary power turned on, so you have power at the facility to start. I don't think this council is giving I wouldn't give you a deadline. If you got contractors steadily working out there, getting progress done, that's what this council's looking for. But, you know, we were told a couple of months ago that, yeah, we fixing to get started. And I live not far from there. I pass by there multiple times a day. And there hasn't been one person there doing anything whatsoever. And it's been like that for probably a year. It's been a long, long time. I did see one guy out there that had an old truck that was cutting some grass with a push mower and a machete. You know, and he was getting it done, but I mean, that's about all I've seen out there in a long, long time. And I go by there often. Every day I'm by there. And if you don't have an architect already involved, I mean, that takes time. It takes a lot of time to get that process going, right? I do a lot of construction, so I'm clearly aware of the process. And if you don't even have that lined up, that's months to get that process started, much less lining up your contractors. And I don't think none of us needs to see your contracts. What we want to see is the contractors working. If they working, we don't care about your contract. That the progress is getting done, the repairs are getting made, you know, the homeless stuff that was going on, that was because everything's been abandoned and nobody's been out there, and the police has been struggling with it to keep that from being in those conditions. So once you start progressing, you start construction and work, no homeless people are going to show up there because stuff is going on. They don't want to be there when stuff's going on. But if you've been by there lately, it looks pretty rough, and it looks very easy that somebody could just walk in and live and do, you know, it's going to be drug infested. And that neighborhood is one of the finest neighborhoods around. That is a very, very nice neighborhood. And that's the biggest eyesore in that entire neighborhood, you know, so it just needs to be dealt with, you know.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Can I rebuttal and answer just short? I forgot the name. The name is Generator. Generator, you as a contractor, I'm very happy that you are here and you are a contractor. The generator would generate electricity based on what I was told. So instead of, he's going to pull the permit anyway to have the electricity, but he doesn't need to turn it on. What we are going to be doing is the generator is going to be there to create electricity and have the job done until all the wires are back to normal.
Yeah, you cannot work off of a generator. that's
I
a
didn't know.
big project
Yeah.
to tip the work off of a generator. I mean, we would work off a generator if we was gonna build a shed, right? I mean, 2 or 3 day project. That's a very, very big project. And we got big power panels for those type of projects, right? Because you just can't work off of a generator. It would
Sorry, I
would just
told
make
you
no
that
sense.
I'm not the right person in contracting, but let me address something.
Well, I am, and that's why I want you to be aware of it,
That's
that you
why
can't.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Based on your experience, if the contractor, the general contractor, and whoever is necessary is being hired right away, how long do you think it would take to finish this?
That
Based on your
project,
experience.
a year and a half, to do it correctly? I mean, that's,
That's 7 months, that's for sure.
well, I get it. I get it. You know, that's a large facility with a lot of work that needs to be dealt with. A lot of demo. If that was brand new construction, it's different because that goes so much quicker, so much quicker. But all the renovation of getting rid of all the mold and all the issues they have over there, stuff that you don't even know is there. When you start tearing out, you will find it. And so all that just takes more and more time, and it's a process to go through. Just like you said, they already cut all the wires. That whole place then's got to get rewired. You know, that's a couple of months in itself to deal with those type of issues. You know, and I'm just talking from experience. This is what it's going to take. You know, I would love to see it. I'd love to see it, but it wouldn't be hard to see a couple of weeks worth of progress. And I seen a couple of weeks worth of progress. I could assure these guys up here saying, hey, look, he's moving in the right direction. But, I mean, 2 months ago, we were told we're fixing to get started. And we didn't even get a power pole up yet. That's the first thing you do when you show up. Turn on power.
Alex, wait.
Turn your mic, Mr. Alex.
Yeah,
Talking
this
to the
is-
mic. Talking to the mic.
September last year, I said, I will be starting, give me a month and a half. Here I am, month and a half.
And we don't even have a temporary power pole up.
You'll see it tomorrow.
I mean, that's a process because you got to get that inspected,
Yes.
even get that turned on.
Yes. If I don't get it, depends on the electric company, how soon they're gonna bring it. If I don't show you the permit, then tell them.
The electric company will do it as soon as you get a permit, and the inspector comes and inspects it, make sure it's correct. Power company will show up that day or the next day and turn on your power. That's very quick once you get that done.
September, now month and a half, I said, I'll be here. That's because of the Halloween, I asked when I made this appointment, the first in November, and I'm here.
Chair,
Yes.
Mr. Hebert, I appreciate you. I personally don't think y'all gonna get it done. I think you're just talking, and I think we're not gonna see y'all again after today. That's my personal opinion. So I think we just should move forward with the condemnation. I don't have any confidence in you.
Mr. Joseph, before you sit down, can you spell your last name for me again? Thank you.
Last name is B like boy, O Oscar, D David, A Apple, I India, E Edward.
Thank you, sir.
So
Yes.
thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ms. Lisa, can we put this on the next agenda for the condemnation, please? Whatever needs to be done for that?
Wait,
No?
no, Miss Mandy will have to explain the process. Yeah. There's a process for it.
Okay.
Got the first available date then.
I'm sorry. I just have only one sentence. Can I say it? The fact that you said nothing was done, as I told you, I toured the place. The hotel is 196 units. We have one part 120, one is 76. Alex is here to testify. He told me the one with 120 units, the major part of the hotel only has 3 problems. One that he said, which is very easy, buying the furniture that you already signed up with someplace and we can get the furniture. Number 2, he told me heating and conditioning. So heating and conditioning for this hotel, he would tell you that how long this heating and conditioning, we call the heater and conditioner place when they put it in. But the reason I'm saying this, pretty soon we're going to get permission from the city to open up that 120 units. I repeat again, only 3 problems I'm more than happy to have you come as a contractor to check the one for 120 units. The 120 units, heating and air conditioning, furniture, and also he said some of the doors that are broken, we have to put it back again. So I don't think that would take a long time, but I want you to look at it because I know he was telling me he worked back and forth, but then I told you, give us 2 months, let's make it shorter. Let's make it even 1 month. Now we have also Thanksgiving ahead of us. Today is the 11th, am I right? November 11th, up to December 11th, fair enough, or December 10th. December 8th happened to be my birthday. I celebrate my birthday to be here. So at the end, if you give us only 1 month, the contract, everything that I said, give us 2 months, with only 2 months, within 1 month. But I have to beg you, is there any possibility that I meet with you at the property a month from now, while I'm giving you all the contracts and everything else and all the progress, then you can report it to them. If it was not done within 1 month, I'm talking about getting the contractor, getting the licenses, permit for the remodeling and reconstruction at the end, and also the contract with all the contractors within 1 month. When we met, you choose the date. I make sure I be here, but between now up to a month, I make sure everything that I told you to be ready. When I meet with you, look at it. If you are satisfied, you can tell the council to know. If you are not satisfied, I'm more than happy to tell you you can do the condemnation.
I'll be happy to meet you out there anytime you want.
Sandy, I have a quick
December
question
10,
for
what
you.
time is good for you? A month from now.
I have a
Tomorrow?
quick-
Oh,
Today.
on a month?
No. Today is, no, wait.
I could go tomorrow and look and see
No,
all
no.
these units that looks like they about ready.
No,
I'd
the
be
one
curious to
that
see
for
those.
120 units, you can look at it any day, tomorrow or whatever. But,
Okay,
sorry.
okay,
You
guys.
can look at it any day, tomorrow or any day that's convenient for
I
you.
have-
But a month from now, it's going to be December 10. You tell me what time is good for you, that I present you with everything. I don't need 2 months, only 1 month.
Randy, I have a quick question for you. If the condemnation process was started again, how much time will that be before it appears back on our agenda for condemnation? Because they still have that time frame, correct, to make improvements?
Would that give them time to make improvements?
Well, what's the time frame that they still have at that point? Is it 3 weeks, 4 weeks before?
Okay, so I would have to send them a letter, they would have to receive it. That gives them 10 days' notice, and it can be placed on the agenda.
But they can still make improvements until the
They can.
condemnation is finalized, correct?
They can.
Okay.
So that gives them about, I guess, like 60 days, really,
Okay.
for a full.
And then at the time of voting, we could just not vote.
I mean, if they,
So
I just
substantial
wanted,
improvement.
to clarify that on the record, that if we started this process tonight, that doesn't mean that they can't continue to try and make these improvements that they're promising, that those improvements can still continue ahead. And if they're not made in that 60-day time frame, then we can proceed ahead and we're not back to square one again.
And if they do make significant progress, we can pause the demolition.
Correct.
We did it last time.
That's correct. That's what we did last time. Is that understood? Okay, so even if Mandy sends a letter saying that we're gonna request condemnation again, then that still gives about a 60-day time frame, 45, 60-day time frame to make improvements and show you're making progress before we actually condemn the facility. So it's not saying that immediately after you receive that letter, you can make no additional progress. It just moves the process forward for us so we're not wasting time in the meantime. And if it gets to that point where in a month, as you're requesting Mr. Hebert to go out there, if there isn't enough improvement, then he can come back to us and say, hey, this is where they're at in this process, and we can continue to proceed ahead. I think that's the request from the council right now.
Even if the condemnation is approved, they still have 60 days after that they can, so they do have time.
It still has time. Okay.
gentleman, as he said, is a contractor. I love that. I already promised, I know about the condemnation. I'm writing also my address, telephone number, email, everything. I will hand it to her that she requested. But I asked her if I can do it after we finish this. At the end, the one that I said, him as a contractor, can we meet with him exactly a month from today? Today is
That's up to
November
his
11th.
schedule,
No,
but-
I'm gonna ask him again
Yeah.
to see if he has the time.
Yeah.
Because I live in California.
Yeah.
I know about tomorrow. Sorry, I know you're going there tomorrow to look at the under 20 units. He's going to show it to you. But since I'm in California, I have to make plans to come here and to be ready ahead of time. Are we still on for that a month from now that it will show you all the progress?
Yep.
Just give me the date and the time, please.
I'm good with that. He's got my number. You call me when you're coming down, I'll meet with you.
I'm sorry, no, let's make the time.
Oh.
Just tell me in a month from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. After the meeting,
I'll
he
talk to
can
you
ha-
tomorrow and we'll get that straight. So this meeting can go on. We got a lot of stuff to deal with tonight.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
If you give me 1 second, I write it. 1 second.
But it doesn't go on the agenda. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Guest 6B, Freddie Fournette, to appear before the council to discuss the request for rezoning of property by Jay Ina from agricultural AG zone district to neighborhood commercial NC zone district. If you come up here and restate your name and your address for the record.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Chairmen of St. Mary Parish Council. My name is Freddie Fournette, and I live at 302 Tallowood Street, Franklin. Not living in Caffrey Subdivision, my family owns property in Caffrey Subdivision. I'm here as spokesperson for most of the families, residents, and property owners of Caffrey Subdivision. We have a few questions for the council concerning ordinance number 2406, the request for rezoning of one property in the middle of Caffrey Subdivision. But first, I wish to point out what I understand to be on or about March of 2007, a very familiar situation existed regarding a request for the Planning and Zoning Commission of St. Mary Parish. Let me come back to that point a little bit later. In July of this year, the St. Mary Parish Council representative of District 2 appeared before the Planning and Zoning Commission of St. Mary Parish. This Planning and Zoning Commission of seats under the St. Mary Parish Council was appointed with participation of this same representative. The council in this parish council upon which the representative presently sits. Do we have a conflict of interest here? In that same appearance before the Planning and Zoning Commission of St. Mary Parish Council representative of District 2 requested the zoning of one property in St. Mary Parish District 2 by Jay Ina of Agriculture Zone District to Neighborhood Commercial Zone District at 603 Sycamore Street, Franklin, Louisiana. 4 other people also appeared before this commission in objection to the request for rezoning of the same property in St. Mary Parish District 2, owned by the same St. Mary Parish Council representative of District 2. It has been noted that the discussion during this appearance lasted over 50 minutes, which is about 65% of the total time of the entire Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Yet, the commission voted unanimously in favor of the request to rezone without requesting additional information. Do we have a conflict of interest here? In the same appearance, July of 2025, before the Planning and Zoning Commission of St. Mary Parish, the St. Mary Parish Council representative of District 2 stated that the first concern heard about the rezoning of the property owned by the same St. Mary Parish Council representative of District 2 was in the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, who received a request for rezoning. How is it possible that the plans for this request by the St. Mary Parish representative for District 2 were not able to properly communicate to the constituents of District 2, who are also neighbors of this property. Do we have a conflict of interest here? Additionally, in the same appearance before the Planning and Zoning Commission of St. Mary Parish, a petition dated July 18th, 2025, signed by residents, family members, members of the church community in Caffrey Subdivision, and property owners in and around Caffrey Subdivision, was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission, a copy of which you were also presented. The significance and weight of this position was hardly recognized by the Planning and Zoning Commission. A second petition dated November 12th, 2025, has also been made available to the St. Mary Parish Council in order to further demonstrate the position and wishes of most of Caffrey Subdivision neighborhood. Do we have a conflict of interest here? With the St. Mary Parish Council representative of District 2, the owner of the property earlier referenced, and the parish representative of the neighborhood, all being one and the same person, the neighborhood had no choice but to plead its case directly before the Planning and Zoning Commission of St. Mary Parish, and now directly before St. Mary Parish Council as a whole, all without representation. It would seem by these circumstances that the Planning and Zoning Commission of St. Mary Parish and this council are both out of order for allowing the proposal of an ordinance by a sitting council representative that directly involves the council representative without seeking additional information or legal opinion. Now, to follow up on our similar situation, it is my understanding that in or about March of 2007, Mr. Peter Soprano applied for a building permit to build a building on property he already owned in order to open a business. He was denied that permit by the Louisiana Board of Ethics because he was a sitting St. Mary Parish Council representative. Is that very similar to the situation that we have now? Therefore, I respectfully request that the St. Mary Parish Council seek an advisory opinion from the Louisiana Board of Ethics before further action. Thank you for your time and attention.
Questions?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, public comment. I have Mr. Jeffrey Beverly. Moving on is Mr. Jeffrey. Please state your name for the record again.
My name is Jeffrey Beverly. I serve as the housing director for St. Mary Community Action Agency. I've been in housing for over 40 years as a housing counselor, a certified housing counselor for HUD. And as of 1995, we've developed housing in the amount of over $5 million in St. Mary Parish. And I'm an advocate for all kinds of housing that's decent and safe for everyone. It is imperative that we continue to be able to do that so that everybody have an opportunity for housing. The only reason that I'm here is because in my 40 years of housing here in St. Mary Parish, I have never seen the process go to full length and then be denied. And that's a very serious concern for me because it gets into a gray area of fair housing. And I just wanted to make sure that we stay focused on the process. My concern was just the process in this matter. It is very difficult to do housing in any matter, any form, and it's very expensive to do. In the application that I heard, because I haven't seen all of the facts, that we're talking about maybe at the largest 7 juveniles being housed. And I'm not sure what the concern is, but I believe that every neighbor should have the right to express themselves of their concerns, and also every opportunity to move housing forward in St. Mary Parish should be given also. And so I just wanted to make sure that as a representative of fair housing in St. Mary Parish, that I just express my concerns only about the process, because it seems like the process was followed. Everybody did what they had to do, and the zoning was approved. And that's my comment.
Jeffrey? Thank you, Ms. Beverly.
Thank you.
Sheck Snyder? State your name for the record, Ms. Ann.
My name is Ann Fournette Shake Snyder. I'm here on behalf of my father, who was not able to make it today. I'm going to read what he had prepared. Ladies and gentlemen of St. Mary Parish Council, the town of Franklin has nurtured all of us pretty well, and it's been really good to us. Caffrey Subdivision was the brainchild of our forefathers post-World War II. This subdivision was designed to accommodate a new hospital with a medical complex of homes and offices surrounding Franklin Foundation Hospital. This happened in the late 1940s. These plans served the people of West St. Mary very well for over 65 years. Today, you're not here to make a political decision, you're not here to make economical decision, and you're not here to make a social decision. You're here to make a moral judgment as to whether the ideas and actions of one man can override the wishes and decisions of the subdivision's residents. Let me hasten to emphasize, most of the subdivision residents are opposed to rezoning. Franklin is a quiet and peaceful town, and I urge you, do not change this tranquility. Leave things as they are.
Questions? Sheck Snyder. Dr. Tanya Johnson? State your name for the record, dear.
Dr. Tanya Johnson. Good evening, members of the council, community residents, and neighbors. My name is Dr. Tanya Johnson, and I come before you today as a mental health professional, educator, school counselor, advocate for children, and a proud member of this community. I understand that the proposal for an adolescent boys group home in our community has raised questions and concerns. Change often does. But I want to take a moment to share with you why this proposal deserves not only our support, but also our understanding and our compassion. As someone who has worked closely with youth, especially those who have experienced trauma, neglect, or instability, I can tell you that a group home is not a place of danger, it's a place of healing. It's a structured, supervised environment where trained staff help young men learn responsibility, emotional regulation, and life skills that will help them become productive citizens. These are not troubled young men to be feared. They are children in need of guidance, consistency, and belonging. Many of them have simply lacked the stable support systems that so many of us take for granted. I also want to address some of the common misconceptions. This home will be licensed, regulated, and professionally staffed. It will not be a drop-in shelter or a correctional facility. The residents will have structured routines, school, therapy, and community participation. Safety and accountability are built into every part of this program. Beyond the technical details, though, I want us to consider the moral and human side of this. When we welcome these young people into our community, we are sending a message that we believe every child is worthy of a second chance, that we believe in community, not just when it's convenient, but when it's compassionate. And let's not forget, our community's strength has always come from our willingness to invest in others. Every teacher, mentor, coach, and neighbor who once extended a hand to help a child changed someone's story. That's what this group home represents: hope, a hand extended to help these boys find their footing, find their way, confidence, and their future. I've had the opportunity to personally work with young men from a group home and have seen firsthand the transformation that can happen when youth are given a safe, supportive environment. A young man who once saw no hope can go on to graduate, get a job, and give back to this very community. These success stories don't just happen. They're built on community partnerships like the one we're discussing tonight. So I ask you, let's lead with facts, but also with heart. Let's show these young men that our parish stands for inclusion, restoration, and growth. And let's remember that when we invest in our youth, we invest in the safety, stability, and future of our entire community. Thank you for your time, your forward thinking, and your commitment to doing what's right, not just for today, but for the generations that will follow. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Johnson? Thank you,
Madam
ma'am. Yes, sir.
I don't have any questions for Dr. Johnson per se, but I do want to commend her for bringing that perspective to this conversation, because it sounds very similar, and it makes me recollect some of my remarks in a previous meeting where this was on our agenda, and I'm constantly hearing the undertones that are suggesting that a home like this is going to disrupt the neighborhood. It's going to disrupt the peace that the citizens in this neighborhood have enjoyed for so many years. And being a person that has operated in the healthcare sector for a number of years and has administered programs similar to this, I'm grieved at the fact that this kind of misinformation is out and being shared throughout the community. And it does suggest that we are that some of us are against or have an issue with helping people to experience a better quality of life, particularly children. I just think it's unfair that this proposed project or item has gotten that type of negative publicity, and has been so grossly misrepresented, because that's not what this is. And I would encourage those of you that feel that way to do some research, do some real research, and look at communities where these types of programs are being implemented, and gain some knowledge of the facts of why the state of Louisiana has even invested in this type of provider type, because there's a need for it, and because the research and the factual data would provide evidence that there is no threat to your community. There is no threat to our community. And it's a shame that anyone would suggest that, particularly those that know better but refuse to say it. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question for Morgan. Freddie Fournette stated that pass that unethical. Is this correct? I mean, are we even able to vote on this? Can you give us a little clarification?
I really
before we move
can't
forward?
because our office, the DA's office, isn't allowed to issue ethics opinions. And unfortunately, our ethics board, their online database isn't searchable like the Attorney General's is, so I can't even pull that opinion to read it to see the finding. But that would have to be sent to the ethics board. Our office can't answer ethics opinions, can't issue ethics opinions.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I could, just for the record, clarify for Councilman Orlando that you referenced Mr. Fournette's discourse as being the same thing that we're deliberating tonight. It's not the same thing. There might be some similarities, but to suggest that, and it's already been suggested, and in my opinion incorrectly, that this is the same situation, it's not. And the Ethics Administration has the responsibility to weigh every situation because of the merits of that situation, which there may be some different dynamics that are not identical to what Mr. Soprano's situation was 10 or 15 years ago, however many years ago it was. So I just think we need to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges and not mix all of that in one basket, because it's not the same thing.
Ms. Charmaine St. Germain? State your name for the record, ma'am.
Lord. Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the Parish Council. My name is Charmaine St. Germain. I live at 1701 Hospital Avenue in Caffrey Subdivision. I'm here to voice my objection to ordinance number 2406, which is specifically about the rezoning of one property in the middle of our neighborhood. The ordinance is about rezoning, nothing else. That's all it is stated, and that's what I'm up here voicing my objection to. The ordinance will change the present zone of agriculture to neighborhood commercial in order to assure a greater understanding of the neighborhood commercial district. The explanation reads as follows. The neighborhood commercial district is defined by the Unified Development Ordinance in the zoning district purpose statement as the zoning of property for neighborhood commercial. This zoning is intended to provide for small-scale, limited impact retail and office businesses on relatively small sites in convenient proximity to residential neighborhoods. Note, it does not say in the middle of the neighborhood. In convenient proximity to residential neighborhoods. The uses permitted within the neighborhood commercial district are meant to be compatible with largely residential areas and serve the retail and personal service needs of nearby residents. The nature of the permitted uses and scale of buildings are intended to blend with adjacent and nearby properties without causing adverse impact. The neighborhood commercial district specifically directs such development to sites at or near intersections of major roads to enhance access and minimize traffic growth and safety concerns on the minor rural roads. Say that 10 times. Anyway, thank you. Just wanted to state some facts.
Ma'am. Ms. Alice Freeman?
Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the Parish Council. My name is Alice Freeman. I live at 1609 Cynthia Street in the Caffrey Subdivision. I am here to voice my objection to ordinance number 2406, the rezoning of one property in the middle of our neighborhood. The ordinance will change the present zone of agriculture to neighborhood commercial. This zoning will not serve the needs of the neighborhood as described in the Unified Development Ordinance Zoning District Purpose Statement. Thank you very much for letting me speak.
Ms. Maria Longman. Oh, I sound like a broken record, but please state your name for the record.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Maria Lydia Longman, also known as Lydia Longman. I reside at 1703 Hospital Avenue, Franklin, Louisiana. I am here to voice my objection to Ordinance 2406, the rezoning of one property in the middle of our neighborhood. The ordinance will change the present zone of agriculture to neighborhood commercial. This rezoning has no retail or office business value to the neighborhood as described in the Unified Development Ordinance Zoning District Purpose Statement. Thank you.
Bowden.
Good afternoon. My name is Sue Bode. I live at 1605 Cynthia Street in Caffrey Subdivision. I'm here to voice my objection to the ordinance of number 2406, the rezoning of one property in the middle of our neighborhood. I said rezoning, nothing else. The ordinance will change the present zone of agriculture to neighborhood commercial. The rezoning of this property from agriculture to neighborhood commercial is intended to be in convenient proximity to the residential neighborhood, not in the middle, as described in the Unified Development Ordinance Zoning District Purpose Statement. Thank you.
Anybody else have any other public comment?
Chair,
Sir.
since there appears to be a lot of folks in the audience, can we move up item 13C?
No one has an objection. Can you read 13C
Yes,
into
ma'am.
the record?
This was referred from the October 22nd, 2025 regular council meeting for adoption, vetoed, an ordinance in compliance with ordinance number 1973, chapter 5 procedures, divisions 5.4 general procedures for public hearing, sections 5.4.2 rezoning, zoning map amendments for Mr. J. Ina, and HRC section 2-13C to readopt the ordinance by the favorable vote of at least 3/4 of its membership. What is your wishes?
Miss Lisa, can you explain what a yes and a no vote is on this
I was
particular
going to
item?
ask Mrs. Guillory to do that, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Let me be. So it specifically reads, re-adopt the ordinance. So you're moving to re-adopt the ordinance that was previously vetoed. So a yes would be to adopt Councilman Ina's ordinance. A no would be to reject the ordinance. Does anyone have any other interpretation of that?
I had the same thing.
Okay.
Ms. Morgan, could you please elaborate on what the number of votes it would take is in order to pass this re-adoption?
Yes, sir. Of this council of 11, 9 votes will be required. Yes, sir.
9 votes of the members present or 9 votes of the council, the body of the council?
Of the council.
Have a motion?
I'll move.
Got a motion by Mr. Matthews, a second by Mr. Olander. Any other discussion? Question, just to bring that up. At this point, you know, we know an ethics opinion can only be obtained from 2 different sources, either us as a council as a whole, the body that's affected, or the person that's involved in the process. So either that would be us as a council requesting by majority, or Councilman Ina requesting himself. So I'm just tossing that out there. Is that something that was even discussed as a possibility? Because I was just made aware of this possible ethics issue after our last meeting discussing this topic. I just wanted some input from everybody else on that feeling.
Determine that after the vote?
Oh, well, I mean, yes, but then the vote.
The issue is, if there is an ethics violation and there's a previous affirmative vote, then you come into, I can't really speak for the ethics board, but I do know that they'd be going retroactive. So instead of saying, no, you can't do that, that's already been done, so you're facing the possibility of penalties, fines, actions on behalf of the Ethics Commission. Again, I can't speak to the Ethics Board too much because we're not allowed to commingle with them through our office, but you would run into more trouble in getting an opinion after the fact.
I have a question.
If there would be an issue. I don't know that there is.
I guess my question is, Councilman Ina, his position, will he be able to even vote on this?
That is also an ethics question.
That's another ethics
Yeah,
question.
that would be an ethics question that Mr. Ina, Councilman Ina, would have to seek.
But does this have to be by a certain amount of time limit for the veto, correct?
Yes, this is-
If hypothetically did wait, we would be beyond the time frame for
Would
the
be,
veto.
Ms. Lisa, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the last meeting that this can be, action can be taken, yeah.
Up to. Per the charter.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
according to the ethics classes that I've been taking over the last 4 years since I've been on the council, anytime a councilman has a personal gain or something, you should not be involved in the discussion of anything to go with an item. And I don't know if y'all get the same thing I get out of it. That's what I've been getting out of it. Am I right? Or I know y'all got to take them like I do. And it's coming up in January.
Comments, questions?
Question is it too late to go to ethics?
Yes.
I'm hearing a yes and I'm hearing a no.
Yes and no. You can always get an ethics opinion. The issue is that this is the last meeting that this action can be taken on this item.
So I guess
So my question is then, if we vote on it and then it's an ethic violation, then we could be fined.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Right.
Depends
We could
on how
be
the vote
fined,
turns out.
The council could be fined, or the proposer of the ordinance could be fined.
There's a possibility of both, depending on the commission's findings. Again, I know I'm not much help in regards to the ethics board, but there's a possibility of both. It depends on their findings. And just as you said, each situation is so individual. It's every little detail matters.
I guess I have one other legal question for you. So if this was not voted on tonight, or if it is voted on and passed or put down, for this to be reproposed, does it have to go through the planning and zoning process and everything all over again? Okay.
Yes. Miss Mandy might know more than me on that, but I believe that once action is taken, say it's negative, I think that was your proposal, that the process starts all over again.
Is that correct, Mandy?
So it would come back to the council. The starting point would be the parish council.
Okay, so would not have to go through planning and zoning.
Okay.
Another question. If it goes back to square one, will we go to the ethics board to find out if this is even ethical? Depends on how the vote turns out.
I would
that
suggest
process?
that, given all the concerns tonight.
So it would go to zoning first.
No, it would start back at the parish council. It'd already been through planning and zoning, and they've made their recommendations. And given that there's no changes to the plan, and everything's the same as it was with the original application with planning and zoning, it would start back at the council with their previous recommendation.
And we will make recommendations to check into ethics, correct?
Yes, the council could make that decision, yes.
Anybody else have any other questions? A vote?
Okay, this is on item 13C. Mr. Ina.
Yes.
Mr. Olander.
No, ma'am.
Mr. Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Rolfe.
No, ma'am.
Mr. Hebert.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Duhon.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Adams.
No, ma'am.
Dr. Rink.
No, ma'am.
Mrs. Hidalgo, she's absent, and Reverend Matthews.
Yes, ma'am.
We have 6 yeas, 4 noes, and 1 absent, and it fails.
Madam Chair, if I may, could I say something right quick? I want to read a little quick statement. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everybody that came and expressed support for this ordinance. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that the public was able to see that one small group of opponents do not represent the opinions of the entire community. As you know, I've gone through every proper channel to establish a licensed group home. I followed every step of the process, approved by the zoning board, and it was approved by the full parish council. But unfortunately, despite meeting all of the requirements, the approval was vetoed by our parish president, and the override failed. Since my effort to legally and lawfully establish a group home was intentionally blocked by the parish president, in my opinion, because of what I believe to be racially motivated, and your support of a neighborhood group that has clear discriminatory feelings about the project, I'll be filing a complaint. I'll be checking the ethics out. But in the meantime, I kind of anticipated that this might happen. So until the legal actions have taken its course, I've decided to move forward with an alternate business plan that is fully compliant with the UDC for St. Mary Parish. Under the UDC, private homeowners, myself, are free to rent their property without permits or zoning changes, provided no regulatory services are offered. This means the home would not operate as a group home and would not provide any services beyond standard housing, just a rental agreement. Going forward in 2026, I'll be working with agencies such as the St. Mary Parish Reentry Coalition, the Louisiana Prisoner Reentry Initiative, and several other organizations to provide housing to individuals that have recently been released from incarceration. My mission remains unchanged: to provide safe, quality, affordable housing in a good neighborhood for individuals who are committed to rebuilding their lives. Stable housing is a cornerstone of successful reintegration, and I believe our community benefits when everyone has had a fair chance to succeed. It's worth noting that had the original business plan been supported, this process would have been more structured and would have had much more oversight. Instead, I will simply be exercising my rights as a homeowner to rent my property to who I choose, which is something the UDC clearly allows as a private property owner. And I don't have to go through any process for that. I don't need to request special permission. I don't need any zoning changes. There's no need for a vote, nor would there be any opportunity for a veto. So although Some may feel like the vote on the ordinance was a victory for them. It was just one battle, not the war. Let me be absolutely clear. I will never allow an individual or a group to dictate what I do with my property. Nor will I ever allow any individual or group to feel as if they have the power to undermine my lawful rights. It's not going to happen. So the funny looks and offensive words, that doesn't bother me. And lastly, I want to make it clear that I have no animosity towards anyone that opposed the ordinance, either through your vote or through your comments, because we all have the right to an opinion. I'm committed to making real, positive changes in our parish, and this is just a minor issue as far as I'm concerned. I've already pivoted, and I'm looking forward to the success of my alternate business plan. And I'm going to make sure that I encourage all of my tenants to introduce themselves to all the neighbors on. Let them come by and touch base with you, and hope that they're welcome with open arms. Thank you very much.
Madam?
Sam Jones?
Let me know when you have your first housewarming party. I'll be there.
I'd like to say something too on this.
We're up to your report anyway, Sam.
What?
I said we're up to your report anyway.
You're up to my report?
Yeah, yeah, item 8.
It's 100 people that was opposed to it. I'll say this, after being attacked unfairly, and unreal, if this would have been done in the reverse, and the number of people who were black did not want this, I would have done the same thing. The same damn thing.
Madam Chair, I would have said shame on them too.
Do you have anything else to report, Mr. President? Report from personnel, Mr. Paul Gouvernail, Chief Administrative Officer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You all have received my report. Some things are informational. There is a resolution on the agenda to adjust the tipping fees at the landfill. I've consulted, looked at all the operating costs of the landfill, consulted with our consulting engineer, and there's a balance, between pricing yourself out of the market and going up, and we both felt that a 5% increase to the tipping fee was justified at this time, effective December 1st. You have it in my report. It's also in the resolution, and I hope that you support that. Tonight, a couple other things on my report. We've already talked about the cooperative endeavor agreement with Fire District number 11. I hope you support that too, so we can get that money moving to build that fire station in the Four Corners area. The last thing is the fire insurance rating. We got notice from the Fire Insurance Rating Division that the Bayou Vista Fire Department, their class has increased, which is a positive thing for that area and may result in decreased fire insurance. So that's a good thing, for the Bayou Vista area. Any questions?
One question.
Yes, Mr. Adams?
The cities was notified about the tipping fees goes up already?
Not yet until
Okay.
y'all,
Okay.
once y'all approve it, it's not gonna go into effect till December the 1st.
Okay.
Once y'all approve it, then it'll go out.
I just want to congratulate, Chief Price there,
Yes.
Bayou Vista, along with the fire district, a lot of hard work to get that rating decreased. They went from a 6 down to a 4.
Great.
That's good.
Does anybody else have any questions for Mr. Gouvernail? All right, Miss Mandy LeBlanc, you're on.
So, Ms. Mandy has 9A, a recommend preliminary and final subdivision development approval. She has a recommended rezoning and another recommended rezoning, and then a recommended preliminary final subdivision that was referred back from the June 16th meeting. Do y'all
Madam
have any
Chair, I'll offer
questions?
a motion to approve those.
All 4 of them, Rev?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Have a
I would
motion from
like
Reverend
it, I'm
Matthews?
sorry, if I could have
A
1 second.
second by Mr. Hebert. Yep.
So on A1B, it is pending BOA approval. And also on A2A, the Planning and Zoning Commission approved this with a conditional variance to deviate from the requirement of a fire hydrant due to practical difficulties in that area. So I wanted that to be noted.
Not a fire hydrant close to it? For the-
There is not. Whenever subdivisions come before, they are supposed to have, in residential areas, a fire hydrant within 500 foot of the lot, the newly developed lot. In this area, we do not have water mains. They have water wells. I did get with the chief, and he did sign over a letter saying that he understands that a new construction may take place and that his trucks are able to hold enough water in case something would happen.
That Chief Clark's district, District 11?
Yes, it is.
It's, yes,
That's Chief Clark's?
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Do we have to have the motion amended to accept it with the pending Board of Adjustments and the conditional variance?
Have that in the
I mean,
report.
it's already there.
If
so-
it was already in the report, then
Okay.
there's no amendments.
Okay.
But she just wanted to state it. Thank you,
Gotcha.
Ms. Mandy.
Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yes, we appreciate that.
But I'd like my motion to stand.
Okay.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any other questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
NA.
That's okay. Report of council meetings, public hearing report, October 22nd, 2025. Can I have a motion for approval?
I move.
I got a motion by Mr. Hebert, second by David Hill. Sorry, David. Brain's not registering today. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Report of meetings other than council meetings?
Chair?
Yes.
The Marine Corps Band, we plan to Morgan City Auditorium, December 9th. The time will be 6 p.m.
Anybody else have anything else?
I do.
Yes, sir.
I attended the Town of Berwick meeting last night, and the police chief, David Leonard, is retiring, and they appointed a new police chief, J.P. Henry. I think they made a great choice, and I think he'll do quite well. I was proud and happy to see he was appointed to that position. Thank you.
Congratulations, JP. Anybody else have any other discussions or comments? Any other meetings coming up they want to disclose? Okay, Miss Lisa for introduction, 12A.
Yep, 12A is for introduction and ordinance in compliance with ordinance number 1973, Chapter 5 Procedures, Divisions 5.4 General Procedures for Public Hearing, Sections 5.4.2 Rezoning, Zoning Map Amendments for E and F Property Holdings LLC. B is for introduction is an ordinance in compliance with ordinance number 1973, Chapter 5 Procedures, Divisions 5.4 General Procedures for Public Hearing, Sections 5.4.2 Rezoning, Zoning Map Amendments for Hope Hebert. And C is for introduction is an ordinance declaring multiple tax adjudicated properties as surplus property and authorize the parish to proceed with the process for advertising and the sale of such adjudicated properties. What is your wishes?
Madam Chair, so introduced.
Okay, I
Thank
have
you.
an introduction by Mr. Olander.
12A, B, and C, Mr. Olander?
Ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
13, adoption of ordinance. Miss Lisa, if you can read A and B into the record.
Sure will. A is for adoption an ordinance establishing a policy governing the requirements of Louisiana Revised Statutes 4214E to allow for any member of the public with a disability recognized by the Americans with Disabilities Act or their designated caregiver to participate in the meetings of the St. Mary Parish Council remotely by teleconferencing and providing for all matters related thereto. And B is for adoption an ordinance authorizing the President of St. Mary to execute a lease agreement between St. Mary Parish and State of Louisiana Division of Administration for the Grand Oil Cove Boat Landing.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move on 13A and B.
I have a motion by Mr. Olander for 13A and B, a second by Mr. Hill. Any other further discussion? I do have a quick question about this Americans Disability Act one. The time frames and stuff that were given for reestablishing connections and stuff like that, is that what's mandated by the state? Because it says that if we have someone we can't reconnect with in an hour, then we have to cancel the meeting. So I'm just concerned about disruption of meetings and stuff like that.
I looked at other parishes and I reviewed off of theirs and kind of used what they were using. So I'd have to double check with, if Ms. Morgan would have an opinion on it, I don't know.
Curious, that's a lot of meetings that potentially, Nick, we're putting you on the spot now. As a communications person. Anybody else have any other questions?
I'm wondering if we ought to amend that. It could get
Yeah, that's
pretty difficult, or wind up canceling the entire meeting.
right. I mean, the way the ordinance is written right now, that's how it's stated. That if we can't reestablish a connection with this person who's listed.
I thought it was only 5 minutes. What are you reading? Okay.
The second phone call still does not answer. The chairman may at his discretion.
Says, if technical problems arise, this is J on number 2. If technical problems arise that impair the ability of the disabled member of the public to participate in the meeting shall be recessed until the problem is resolved. If the technical issue is not resolved within 1 hour, the meeting shall be adjourned, and the chairperson will use all reasonable means to notify all participants. Literally says we have to cancel the meeting if we cannot reestablish, and an hour delay.
That came out of where? Out of somebody else's ordinance?
Yes, that's correct.
I don't like that.
Could we strike that? I mean, have to reintroduce this all over again to remove that one item?
If you're just removing it, I don't think you would need a reintroduction, but if you're gonna add a different provision such as like maybe a 5-minute timeline, then I think it would cause for reintroduction because you're substantially changing it.
I want to just amend it. With
I would make
taking out that
the
J.
motion to amend it to remove J.
Olander.
Olander would like to amend his, okay. You amend it to strike out the J, and Mr. Hill, would you second that motion?
Okay.
Okay, so we have an amendment with that, that item to remove, J, the complete line. Any more discussion? Okay, I'm gonna do a roll call on 13A and B with the amendment on, A, I'm sorry. Okay. Mr. Olander,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hill,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ruff, Mr. Hebert.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Davis.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Duhon.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Adams.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Rink.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Hidalgo, she's absent. Reverend Matthews. He's absent, I'm sorry. And Mr. Ina.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. 2, 3. I have 9 yeas, 2 absents, and the ordinance is carried. Thank you.
14B is a resolution to Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, Division of Aviation, requesting funding to complete airport improvements at Harry P. Williams Airport as described in the Capital Improvement Program application for the
Dated
state
October 31st, 2025. I had to make a clerical.
financial assistance dated as Ms. Lisa corrected.
Yeah.
C is a resolution approving and authorizing the parish president to execute an intergovernmental agreement with St. Mary Parish Fire Protection District 11 relative to the state capital outlay grant to construct a new fire station. D is a resolution to establish the cost per ton of the disposal of solid waste delivered and accepted by the parish of St. Mary in accordance with the solid waste disposal agreement between the St. Mary Parish Council, the cities of Morgan City, Franklin, Patterson, and the towns of Baldwin and Berwick, Louisiana. And E is a resolution requesting an advisory opinion from the Attorney General in reference to the St. Mary Parish President's responsibility to administer budgets and fund allocations as adopted by St. Mary Parish Council and prescribed in local tax election call. I have a motion for
Second.
B through E.
Yes, all of,
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Hill, B through E, a second by Mr. Adams.
Yes, ma'am.
Any discussion?
Thank you. This is on items 14B, C, D, and E. Mr. Hill?
Yes, ma'am?
Mr. Rolfe?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hebert?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Duhon?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Adams?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Rink?
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Hidalgo, she's absent. Reverend Matthews, he's absent. And Mr. Ina?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Olander.
Yes, ma'am.
We have 9 yeas, 2 absents, and the resolutions carry. Thank you. Next, old business is just informational, and we've already taken care of that earlier, just now. 16A is informational. 16B is informational. 16C, the Atchafalaya Golf Course Commission has 1 vacancy. Douglas Streety Jr. and Randy Beechey has submitted their applications. What are y'all wishes?
Chairman, I'd like to go ahead and table this for 30 days and bring it back up.
Have a motion by Mr. Rolfe to table. Second by Mr. Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Consolidated Gravity Drainage District Number 2A in Amelia has 5 vacancies. I did receive a late applicant from Mr. Paul Rampman. And so I will place that on the next agenda.
I'd like to table this.
Okay, you want to table that one? Okay. How long?
Second.
Mr. Duhon would like to table this? Until when, Mr. Duhon, do you know?
Until I bring it back up.
Okay, until you return it. Time uncertain. We have a motion on the floor.
And a second by Mr. Adams. Any, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Motion
Motion carries.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to
Wait.
adjourn.
Oh, hold on, we're not there yet. We got 2 more.
Fire Protection District Number 7 in Bayou Vista has 3 vacancies. Alvin Metrodrine, present member, and
that
Morton
was it,
Dehart,
Paul.
present member. What is your wishes?
I'd like to move on both of those.
Thank you,
Second.
sir.
I got a motion by Mr. Hill, a second by Mr. Adams. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Wait, hold on, one more. Drainage District Number 6 in Amelia, 1 vacancy, no applications received. I just had to put that in the
Sure did miss
record
that
because
one.
Lisa skipped it.
I sure did. That was my bad.
You don't-
Okay, what you want to do with that one?
Table it
Okay.
Table it to
Wait,
point
you want
and
to table it till?
until I bring it back up.
Okay, time uncertain. Duhon?
I got a motion to
Y'all have
table it
resolution.
to time uncertain by Mr. Duhon, a second by Mr. Davis. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion for adjournment?
I know.
I got a motion by Mr. Hill. Obviously, a second by Mr. Hebert. Can I get a vote? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.